Truth gonna set you free, but first it's gonna piss you off. Dun 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 dun. Ow!
What is poppin' Dope Nation? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dopeaxxpana, and today I'm gonna share with you guys how I did these beautiful knotless box braids, and I also created an ombre from these two colors for my client. They didn't have the ombre color that I wanted in the stores, so I decided that I was going to create my own. And I also just wanted to show you guys how I set my hair up, because a lot of you guys asked that, and I do have a prepping video on my channel that a lot of you guys may not have seen. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys because I know I never really show the hair in a lot of my videos. So I recently posted a knotless box braids tutorial on my channel, and you guys absolutely loved it. So I wanted to bring you guys another one and just give you guys a couple different tips, and also show you guys how you can create your own ombre. If you guys have been on my community chat tab, then you know I've been playing around with some colors, and so I just wanted to show you guys how you guys can create a custom ombre for your client. I'm pretty sure that they do have what I wanted somewhere, but I couldn't find it, so I wanted to create this for my client. I'm using a mixture of the color 33 and a 350, and these are in Spectra EZ Braid. 33 is like a wine color, so that's what I'm using at the top, and then it's gonna fade to like a burnt orange color at the bottom. So in my last tutorial, I explained that when I'm adding in the hair, I'm just putting it in between my pointer and my thumb finger, just like I do for my regular feed-in braid cornrows. And I'm using it the same exact way that I would do that. I put it in between my pointer and my thumb finger, and then I just continue to braid. And I did give you guys a different angle towards the middle of this video, so you guys can really see where I'm inputting that hair. For creating the ombre, I'm just gonna braid down, and she wanted these pretty long, so once I get to almost where the wine color is running out, I'm gonna start adding in that burnt orange color. And basically all I'm doing is laying that over the top, and I'm doing it with about 4 pieces. So you wanna add in small pieces as you go so that the braid doesn't get too thick at the bottom. You don't want to see a huge lump where that transition is to the burnt orange. So I'm just adding in maybe 3 to 4 little pieces, and then I begin to try to tuck the wine color. So when you first add it in, you don't want to tuck the wine color because you want it to look like it's kind of fading into it. But once you get towards the end, you want to start tucking that wine color underneath the orange. So a lot of you guys have asked me about gripping, so I wanted to give you guys a better angle just so you guys can see where I'm really inputting that hair and how I'm starting the knotless braid. Right now I'm just coating her hair with Shine and Jam. I'm using the Magic Fingers, which is the red bottle, just to make it look more sleek at that root and give me a better hold. And then I'm going to split her natural hair into 3, and I'm going to start this like I'm doing a 3-strand braid. When you first cross over, you want to add in your first piece, and that's really important. You don't want to cross over too many times without adding in that piece. And I'm putting it in between my pointer and thumb finger. One piece is going to combine with the top, and then one piece is going to combine with the middle, and then you just continue braiding. It's really important that you add in as soon as you cross over to prevent your braid from being really small at the root and then looking really big as it gets bigger. And I'll show you guys what I mean. Your braid should really be even from top to bottom, and that's what makes it look most natural. And I do see with a lot of knotless box braids that it'll be really tiny at the root and then the braid starts to get bigger. So I'm adding in about 3 to 4 pieces at the top until I really get the thickness that I want, and then I'm going to switch my hand position and continue to braid down. I didn't tuck her hair at the top of this braid just because I wanted it to kind of look like a little darker than what the wine color was, just to make it like, I don't know, I just wanted it to look like that. So I didn't really tuck at the root. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a better angle. I'm going to show you guys again one more time up close how I'm doing that, just so you guys can better see. So this is the best angle to show you guys. Your braid should be even, and this is what a knotless box braid should look like all the way from the top to the bottom. If you notice, the root of this braid was not super skinny. The braid looks even all the way down. It looks seamless. You cannot tell where I added in that hair, and that's really the look that you are going for. If your knotless box braids are super skinny at the root, then you either need to part bigger or the knotless box braid needs to be smaller, because yeah, you want your transition to look super smooth, because the goal of this is for it to look like it's coming from their natural hair. And so you really don't want people to be able to tell where you are adding that synthetic hair in. I know a lot of you guys are going to ask me, well, how do you know how much to add in? I'm really adding in until I see the thickness that I want. So as I'm braiding, I know it's hard for you guys to see because my fingers are kind of in the way, but you can see how your braid is forming. And there are times when I add in 2 little pieces or 2 big pieces and I have to take it out and redo it. And I actually had to do that in the beginning of this video. I don't know if you guys saw that. But sometimes I have to take it down and redo it. You know, I'm not perfect either. But you really want to get an eye and just try to see, you know, and make sure you look for those things. So to finish off this style, as always, I'm adding my styling mousse, and I'm going to put this all over the client's natural hair, and I'm going to tie that down with the styling strip. I love doing this. It prevents flyaways, and it's just very soothing to the client as well. Adds a little bit of moisture depending on what mousse you use. That's why I like to use the Bigger All styling mousse. I use either the olive oil or whatever the blue one is, I forget what it is, but those are my two favorite from that brand. And any products that I use, you guys can purchase through the links in my description section. Whenever I provide Amazon links, I do get a portion of the sale, so if you guys want to support my channel, make sure you purchase through the links that I leave, and I appreciate you guys in advance for that. So yeah, guys, you guys can see how beautiful this ombre looks. I really loved the wine color combined with this red. I didn't want to do just like a black because I felt like, I don't know, it was just kind of harsh. But I did leave like her natural hair out at the root. But just look how beautiful this looks. I have recently been like playing around with colors and different blends. Like I said, if you guys were on my community channel, you saw that, and I'm really starting to enjoy them. So yeah, this is one of the benefits about the knotless box braids, is that you can instantly put them up in a ponytail and style them. Guys, I've been thinking about doing these on myself just because like they look so bomb, and like I said, they're super versatile right away, and you don't have that pain of pulling them up, and they just look so beautiful. I was just in love with the way that these turned out, and you guys showed them a lot of love on my IG, so I really appreciate you guys for that. But yeah, this is the finished look. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and I will see you guys next time.